I did my project on the polar ice caps. Polar ice caps are dome-shaped sheets of ice found near the North and South Poles. This is where all the colder animals are found at and where global warming is said to be taking place. These form because high-latitude polar regions receive less heat from the sun than other areas of Earth. So these basically form because of their position on the Earth and how far they are away from the sun. Average temperatures at these poles can be very cold. In the summer, the North Pole can reach highs up to 32 degrees Fahrenheit, while in the winter it can get as cold as negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit. In the South Pole, for the summer, it can get as warm as negative 18 degrees Fahrenheit, while in the winter is negative 76 degrees Fahrenheit. Polar ice caps form because high-latitude regions receive less energy in the form of solar radiation from the sun than in equatorial regions. This results in lower surface temperatures. Seasonal variations of the ice caps will also take place due to varied solar energy absorption as the planet revolves around the sun. Additionally, the ice caps may grow or shrink due to climate variation. Because of global warming, the polar ice caps are melting very rapidly. In the last 100 years, the world's global temperature increased by 1/2 degree Celsius. The exact name for this type of global warming is called anthropogenic global warming. That refers to the production of greenhouse gases emitted by human activity. This year alone, over 63 billion tons of ice has melted, and that number continues to grow. The problems of this environmental mess did not happen overnight, and helping will not have an overnight effect. It is very possible to help prevent these ice caps from melting any more than they already are. Those steps are on the next slide. Help conserve energy. Shutting off stalled cars and unplugging lights are little steps, but they can still help a lot. Spread awareness about the melting of the polar ice caps. It is a little-known issue, and spreading the word will help. Keep up with the current facts about how fast the polar ice caps are melting. Simple Google searches once a month can tell you updated facts. Adopt an animal from WWF. The World Wildlife Fund helps save animals' lives every day, and adopting and sponsoring an animal from them helps the environment. Think about your actions. Think about what you do today affects the future. Where are all the polar ice caps from? The northern polar ice caps. The Earth's North Pole is covered by sea ice over the Arctic Ocean, and also the Antarctic ice sheet. This landmass of Earth's South Pole is covered by the Antarctic ice sheet. 90% of the Earth's water is held here. Also in the northern polar ice caps, ice ranges from 3 to 4 meters thick to 20 meters thick. Animals. The Weddell seal and the crab-eater seal live here. The Weddell seal can weigh up to 1,300 pounds, and the crab-eater seal does not eat crab but krill. Some Arctic birds fly to polar regions when snow melts during the winter months. Only a few birds live there all year, and those include raven and snow species. Whales like beluga and bowhead are capable of living in the icy waters of the polar regions. These whales can have a lot of blubber so that way they can survive the cold. Polar bears survive with their thick oily fur coats and layers of body fat, keeping them insulated. They travel all across the Arctic in search of food. Their food consists mostly of sea animals, seals being the prime delicacy. Scientists have actually found ice caps on the planet of Mars, but instead of just water that makes up the ice caps, it's a mixture of carbon dioxide and water ice. Antarctica is at the South Pole has 90% of the world's ice on it, and 70% of that is our fresh water that is used globally. If all the ice caps melted, the sea would rise by 200 feet. Polar ice caps are not the same thing as glaciers. Polar ice caps are large accumulations of ice that form over bodies of water, while glaciers are large concentrations of ice that form on land. Those are my 5 sources that I used.